Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Good evening, Brian. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Complete this sentence for me. Practice makes perfect. Well, I'm not so sure. I'm not sure whether practice, when you keep practicing, you'll be perfect. But I know for a fact that practice plus feedback is going to help you a lot. And realizing the importance of feedback, Toastmaster has allocated this section of the meeting purely for feedback. Everybody in here will be given feedback, including myself. Because practice plus feedback truly is the best way of learning. So I'm going to ask our prepared speakers, evaluators to give us feedback in the order that we heard this evening. So can you please help me welcome our first evaluator, which is none other than the president of your club, Toastmaster Semco. Ladies and gentlemen.
Chiong, you started very well. You describing the conversation between you and your wife. You actually achieved your target, your purpose of the speech project, and you described very well between the conversation. And you have a lot of movement, a lot of vocal variety, and you actually your volume of your voice is loud enough for this audience, and also you have a good rate of your speech. And apart from that, your speech is well organized. You started off with a conversation, and then you show us the 3 points, which already incorporated your first few project speech, right? And you have good body language and good usage of words. Okay, and things to improve. Your pitch was very good in the beginning when you described your conversation, but after that, it was diminished when you started to talk about the 3-point Uber, online, e-commerce, and the Toastmaster pathway. And you could have give a more punch when you talk about we actually can buy cars from online marketplaces. Because I think for Malaysian, we don't buy car from online platform, right? Many people buy car in China, but not in Malaysia, alright? So that would give a more punch on your speech. And the next one is when you talk about fresh grocery stuff and deliver within 24 hours, you must give a punch also on these 2 words, alright? Because it seems that there was no vocal variety. Okay, and also you are having this how I call it, a habitual way of saying yeah at the end of your sentence. Yeah, right? And that shows that you are not quite confident on what you were saying just now. It makes the audience feel that you are not quite confident on your sentence because you are talking about facts and you and that, like, is it, the audience would ask, is that true? Is that what you are trying to convey? Alright? And the next one is the purpose. The purpose of your points. I think when you talk about disruption is coming, are you ready? And for the first 2 points, Uber and the online platform, I think that is from inconvenience to convenience to most of us. And for the TMC pathway, which is going to change in 2 years' time, I think that one is from convenient to inconvenient. So that's not really in line with the what I call it, the title of the message that you wanted to bring in your title. And overall, I think it's good, very good, a lot from your few speeches last time. And back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sam Koh. I just want to share some observation. I noticed that Toastmaster Sam Koh was very attentive when Goh Jiong was giving his speech. He was engaged in his listening and his notes taking, which I thought is really important, because as the evaluator, if you don't see, you will not be able to catch what is visual if you just keep on writing notes. So I'm very happy that you were very engaged visually as well as audially. In your feedback just now, your feedback was very balanced and you were specific in providing examples of what you felt, what you saw, what you heard. And you were also very factual when you were providing improvement feedback. And this is good because then you will sound less judgmental. Then Goh Jiong will be able to take this feedback, go back, process it, and see what he can do differently based on your suggestions. If there's a tiny little area in your feedback, you'll be maybe keep it concise, because in Toastmasters, the thing that I've learned is less is more. Right? So let's give him another round of applause. Thank you very much. So I believe that we are also learning not only by listening to how other people speak, but the way people provide feedback. And it gives me a lot of pleasure to invite our second evaluator, none other than our distinguished Toastmaster, S.K. Ratnam. Please.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, this speech by Bang your body speaks, and it's very important whatever we do, whenever we stand up here and speak. We not only speak, we not only talk, not only tell, but our body must express what you want to talk about. Now, if you stand here stiff, without any movement, without any action, your speech is going to be very dead. So in this case, the body movement, was there body movement, was there body language in this speech? I'll say yes, there was a lot. I was observing, I was looking for what is necessary, what is needed. First thing, gestures. There were a lot of gestures. So that was okay. Her facial expression, she was able to express. And she was even amused by some other incidents she said. And it shows on her face. And that is important. Because again, this is very, very important, facial expression. If you have a very stony face, it's going to kill your speech. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen. So there were a lot of facial expression. And what about eye contact? She had eye contact. She wasn't looking only in one place. She looked all around. She surveyed all around. She looked around. She talked to the audience, everybody around here. And then there was confidence. I didn't notice any nervousness. Of course, she's an experienced speaker, so that was very good. Now, again, to give a speech, especially your body speaks, you require a topic that will bring out the subject. So topic selection is very, very important. And she spoke about our Malaysian traffic system. Well, actually, it's my favorite subject. I can talk a lot about the traffic system too. And just for our speakers' sake, our Malaysian roads are actually very, very good compared to a lot of foreign countries, Malaysian roads. So, but the problem is we have our potholes and that and this. So the topic was very good, Malaysian drivers, how we drive and all that. And all of us are guilty of it sometime or the other. It goes. And then again, in this speech, there was a lot of humor I noticed. And that is important. When you have humor, everybody start listening. It's not a boring speech. So it helped. The humor helped this thing. Now the final thing here I want to talk about is the organization of the speech. When she came here, it was sad. Her title was not introduced, or she was not properly introduced here. This is very important. And so again, the title, but she repeated driving in Malaysia. So that is okay. The body of the speech, there were a lot of examples, but I thought the ending could have been better. It could have been, because she ended with driving in Malaysia is great. I think our drivers need to improve. So if you could have talked about how we can improve our drivers, how we can teach them, it would have made a better ending. So the ending was a little, didn't catch up with the rest of it. Otherwise, you did a great job, Nanang. Thank you.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster S.K. Ratnam. I like the way he started off his evaluation by reminding all of us, including the speaker, the objectives of the speech. Every speech has a definite objective, and therefore it's important that we are mindful of these objectives as we share the speech. And because he started that way, his evaluation was very methodical, very structured. It was easy to follow, starting with things like you have emphasized gesture, facial expression, and so on and so forth. If there's one little area, distinguished Toastmaster S.K. Ratnam, that I can suggest, it would be maybe you could show what you mean. Perhaps you can say, other than say, could have been better, maybe you want to show an example of how the speaker could improve his or her facial expression. Give an example. Because there's a saying, if I hear, I forget. But if I see, I remember. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to SK. And the third evaluator I'd like to invite would be none other than our area director, Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Bronze, ladies and gentlemen, Ken Cope.
Master Jerry, after hearing your speech, gave me a transformation that changes my life. I'm a person who always seek that money, pride, reputation very important. But after listening to your speech, what are you looking most? Change my mindset completely. Is happiness. So from your speech, I can identify the true meaning of the purpose. You're trying to convince the audience with all your conviction. The way that you like to speak, the way you interpret it, including very simple personal story, very simple points can enable us to follow your speech. What I really like the most about your speech is your conclusion. Because the way that you treat the happiness is just like oxygen. It's not that what is not only is very healthy for all of us, but it drives us keep on moving forward. So your conclusion really ties up for your entire speech. So that really had the purpose of it. That's the thing I like about it. Secondly, the way that you have the interesting humor, especially the third example of happiness, which is don't overthink about it. The way you list up a lot of troubles, a lot of challenges, it kind of draws us to follow your speech because there's a very interesting humor is when you argue with your wife. So that really makes me laugh, really capture your point. Now, Toastmaster Jerry, I'm going to give you more happiness in the speech so that the audience can become even more memorable. Now, in order to capture the audience attention, especially the opening, I find that the impact is much more diluted already. Because when you say the mistaken word penis to happiness, somehow the effect is not there. I can suggest you how to create a much more impactful, strong opening is you enlarge or louder the words penis. The audience a bit confusion, but you twisted the topic to happiness, so we all get the meaning of it. So a bit of pause and the large effect of sound that can create a much more stronger opening. That's the first thing. Secondly, about the transition of your speech. Now, this is a very tricky part because when you say there are 3 tips in happiness, a lot of audience have perception in this transition, okay? 1, 2, 3. No more, no less. I can suggest to you to do it like a narrative style, such like the first example story, a story about Tom. So then you share a very interesting hint about happiness. So it keeps the audience guessing and listening to your speech. So try to eliminate all these numbering techniques because it kind of like gives the audience predicted what you're going to say. In other words, we call this like a mechanical speech already. So we're trying to make it much more smoother narrative flow of it. Toastmaster Jerry, from your speech, give me a very good enlightenment. Hope that myself doesn't bring the only person can bring happiness. I believe everybody here can bring happiness towards each other. His speech truly inspired all of us to transform our life, to seek happiness, all of us. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Bronze, Ken Cole, for your evaluation. You just witnessed for yourself, ladies and gentlemen, how he turned evaluation into an art form. Gosh, he was able to remember the content and the flow of his evaluation point without any notes. Like what I'm doing now, I'm holding on to notes in my dear life. And he did it without any notes, and there was no fumbling in his what he wanted to share. Let's give him a round of applause. I also like the way he was able to call back the content of the speaker. I'll give you more happiness. That makes me link with the message so clearly. I love your energy. I could feel the enthusiasm, and I really enjoyed your evaluation. Another round of applause for him. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, before I move on to the technical team of